Oh, didn't hear you drive up. Thought it was probably my son. Come on in. Excuse me for not getting up. I realized after I was reading the paper that I've got a presentation to give in a couple of weeks, and so come on in. Come on the porch. Now you can choose any chair on this porch you want, but I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to recommend that raggedy one right there. You see, I grew up in this house. This is where I lived with my mom, dad, my brother John, and my mom's family. There were 10 kids in it, and so on this porch there were aunts and uncles and cousins and parents and brothers and they all wanted that rocking chair there. So there's some history there. But you didn't come to talk to the rocking chair. I understand. I have a tendency to ramble. You'll have to forgive me. Now, you're looking for a speaker, or you wouldn't be here, right? Now, I'm going to do something right now my mama told me I should never do. I'm going to brag a little, so bear with me. I did some calculating, and I figured that I have spoken to approximately 200,000 people. 200,000 people have heard me speak, and from those 200,000 people, I've got no threatening letters. My family members have not been threatened, so, that says a lot. Now, anybody can choose a speaker from the slick material they put out and all of that, and we can fool people once, but they're never fooled twice. I'm invited back an awful lot. There are several conferences I've done 5, 6 times. I get standing ovations. And people say, why? How? I like what I do. I never in my life envisioned that people would pay to hear me talk. But they do, and I enjoy people, and it's been great for me. Good question. I have traveled from Killington, Vermont to Yakima, Washington, and points in between. I travel a lot from this old porch here. What type of speeches do I give? Well, let me give you some parameters to work with there, if I might. I have spoken twice to the National Association of Funeral Directors. So you've got funeral directors on this end, and then on the other side, I've spoken numerous times to emergency medical technicians, perinatal nurses, emergency nurses. So on one hand, we have the people that save lives, and on the other hand, well, So somewhere in between, high school graduation speaker, college graduation speaker, I give seminars, learning seminars. No. I'm not a comedian, please, no. I'm listed as what would be called a humorist, motivational speaker. My theory is people hear better when they're smiling. You agree with that? I think so. It's been a great road for me. I send out a speech survey. Now, I tailor speeches. I don't give this same talk. And I think this is the reason people invite me time and time again, because they know that I'm going to give them a different presentation. I send out a speech survey. It asks questions about what's the central theme of your conference? What did you do last year? Is there anything you want to emphasize? I want it to be something that will appeal to you. So that's what I work on, And choosing a speaker is tough. I know that. I've been through it myself, helping with different conferences, trying to select speakers. And you're never really sure. But you're going to see later on. You're going to see some clips from people that have heard me speak before. And you have my permission, and I have their permission for you to call them. Call them and say, what did you think about Roddy Gray? What do you think about Roddy Gray? Ask them. And then I think you'll make a wise choice. As far as what I charge, I'm reasonable. I want people to invite me back. Now, what I've got set up for you, I've got the projector set up inside. You can see a live clip of me talking with a group where I recently gave a talk, and you can actually see me in a coat and tie. I think it's important for you to know that I can dress up. I even have suits. I recently had a speaking gig in New Hampshire, and I've discovered that when I go up north, that when people pick up my southern accent, they find it enchanting. Well, enchanting's probably a bad word. I think a lot think that I've had early brain damage, just why I speak so slowly. But we have a great time together. I was speaking at a convention in, let's see, Atlantic City, New Jersey. I was at the Taj Mahal speaking to the Firemen and Policemen Emergency Medical Technicians Association. We were crammed together in this massive elevator. And this guy asked me, he said, Roddy, what floor? And without thinking, I said, would you mash number 2? Now, let me tell you, folks, when you say mash to a group of people in New York and New Jersey, they know that you are not from those parts. But that's enough about that. Let's go inside. I got the projector set up. I'll look at some of the clips, and then we'll talk some more. Okay? Come on. You're going to have to leave that rocking chair. I have discovered that when I speak up north, when people hear a southern accent, they have a tendency to treat you as if you were a pet.
For years, people have enjoyed the wit and humor of Roddy Gray. He's been compared to a modern-day Will Rogers or Louis Grizzard.
As we go down, there was a little breeze at the top. As we go down for about an hour, we no longer feel the breeze. I said, Rose, she said, we're just getting acclimated to the elevation. She said, once we do that, we'll be, I said, okay. We go down further. And I notice that the people we meet coming up are not as happy as we are.
Roddy is captivating as he relates life's observations and experiences in a manner that liberates the soul. His tasteful use of humor uplifts those who don't always have the time to stop and smell the roses.
And when that guy plucked one string on his guitar, my clothes moved. They've got a guy dressed up like a cat, and his guitar is shooting fireballs. I'm telling the truth. It's shooting fireballs across the stage. And I'm going, dear Lord. And anytime they sang a song that had the word fire or hell in it, something on that stage is going to explode. The bat made eye contact with me. And if you've seen any of those Dracula movies, once eye contact is made, that show's pretty well over. And then the bat flew. And it landed on my son's Sports Illustrated magazine. I remember this vividly. Quick thinking Roddy, I quickly put the fishing net on top of the bat, slid my hand underneath the magazine, and I had captured him alive. And I said, what are you going to do? I said, I'm going to take this little fella outside and release him because bats. I love a good responsive audience. I made it as far as the kitchen.
Roddy can always be depended on to deliver a humorous but poignant speech. He can adjust to any audience and still be both humorous and informative. Roddy is a true professional.
They put me on this gurney with my feet sticking out over the end. And at this particular moment, they decided that there were people in this hospital who had not seen me. So they're wheeling me outside, and people are going by saying, that looks like Roddy Gray. And I told Rose, I said, you might want to step away from me. She said, why? I said, I'm going to make a scene. I said, step aside. So I started screaming at the top of my voice for help. Help me, help me. Brunhilde's burning rubber with that gurney now. Nobody stopped. And then I said quite loudly and repeatedly, I said, I did not consent for this organ donation. Do you realize no one stopped me from going into the operating room? And that's pretty well what we look at with this recognition process. You don't make eye contact, particularly with the people that you work with. And of all things that are so important, everybody has something special. I believe with all of my heart, if there's one thing I've gained from aging, is a tad of wisdom that every man, woman, and child on the face of this earth has some special talent. Most are legal. But all they want, all they're asking is every now and then to have the opportunity to share this special skill or talent that they have. And that's what recognition is.
It has been our pleasure to have Mr. Roddy Gray as part of our company environment since early spring of this year. His talk here in Columbus ignited a fire that will not be put out. His talk, a combination of humor, motivation, and just wonderfulness, has all associates who have had the pleasure of hearing him be touched in ways they cannot fully explain. We have had Roddy all across the country, and everywhere he goes, he's greatly received. I truly hope that others in the Safe Light family will be allowed to experience this wonderful person. If everyone could walk away with just learning one thing from Mr. Gray, could you imagine what a great place our family would be? He's a person that touches the soul, makes one laugh, while bringing a true touch of Southern class to all.
I'm not sure there's any greater affirmation as to what our role, the short time that we're on this earth, has to be than that simple chorus that says, you've got to prime the pump, we must have faith and believe, we've got to give of ourselves before we're worthy to receive. Thanks for coming by. Appreciate it. You drive safe, be happy, and you know where I live, come back anytime. Or better yet, let's see, yes, maybe I could come visit you sometime. Think about it.